As regular blog readers, well, yeah, if you're regular, you may know that I'm planning on an assault on the Pennine Way next year, in a super ultralight fashion. Well, trying to do it in a super ultralight fashion, which is basically having your base weight kit less than 2.6 kilograms, which is quite difficult to do. However, it's given me a bit of a project to make a bit of an incentive as well to make a few new bits of kit, and I don't need much of an incentive to do that. But last night I had a rare opportunity to get out onto the hills at the last minute, so I thought I'd take some of the things that I'm planning to take, or some of the prototypes that I've already made, just to see how well they're going. My base weight for last night, which is just an overnighter, was 1.95 kilos. There's no stove in that, and obviously there's quite a few bits and bobs of kit that I've left out, which I would be taking on a multi-day trip. So, but it was a good test of some of the new kit. I'll just have a quick wander down, and we'll show you what I've been using for the night. This is the tarp that I've had for quite a while. This is the Sil Nylon cut tarp. And this is not what I'm going to be taking, I don't think, because it's still quite light. With all the guy lines, it still weighs 230 grams, and it does the job. If funds dictate that I have to take it, then I will do, because it is, as I say, it's still pretty light and it does work very well. So, but I am hoping to purchase some Cuben fibre and making a slightly smaller version of this, because I think this one's quite wide, and I don't think it needs to be quite a wide tarp to cover me. Inside the tarp, well, just to let you know, these guy lines are just 1.5 Dyneema guy lines, but I've found a cheap source for the guy lines. They've got a slightly softer sheath than some of the other ones that I've used, but they're still, well, 3 kilonewtons breakage strain, which is an awful lot. And as you can hear, they're pitch tight as a guitar string, so they seem to do the job nicely. Right, inside the tarp, firstly what we've got is, well, I've got a few bits and bobs. A sit mat. I always take a sit mat, even though it's such a useful thing throughout the day, and if you want to have a bit of a sit around in the night time. Also good to stick under your feet when you go to sleep. Spare battery for the phone. A ditty bag full of toothbrush, wash kit, head torch, that sort of stuff. Inflatable pillow. I find that I can sleep on concrete as long as I've got my head comfortable. I haven't weighed this pillow, it doesn't weigh a great deal. The one good thing about it is it's from the pound shop, so it's only cost £1, and I've probably used it for about 15 nights now, and it's as good as the day it was bought. I did buy a cheaper looking one, even though it was still £1, before that exploded after about 3 or 4 nights, but this one seems to be a lot more robust. There's a few dry bags there, again cheap ones. I'm in the process of making some Cuben ones at the moment. I've just bought some Cuben to do that with, so I'm trying to source some of the smaller buckles. Hopefully they'll be arriving soon. I could have gone on a lighter weight version of ground cloth, but I knew tonight that I would be on a sloping pitch, and using the double glazing film can be a bit slippy sometimes, so I brought this with me. We've got the homemade quilt here, which I need to make a few adjustments to, because at the moment I've only got a draw cord around the top end, and I think I need to make some sort of catch so it can go around my neck a bit tighter and a bit more comfortable than a thin piece of string, just to make it that little bit warmer. But it's working very well at the moment. Homemade bivy bag, and this is the multi-mat extra small. It only weighs 100 grams, and it's basically I think it's 8mm 3/4 length closed cell foam mat. Obviously, if you're using a pillow and that little sit mat at the end, you've got a full length mat, and it's as I say, I don't need anything comfortable super thick to lie on. I'm quite happy lying on that, so that's quite nice. This is the rain skirt, which I've yet to blog about, I think, that I've made. I will do a blog about it. Basically just an oblong of Sil Nylon, and when it's properly finished, it will attach over here with a grommet, and then attach via small guys to the outsides of the tarp and create a beak, which will come down to, say, about this level. So you'll still have a flow through of air under the tarp. However, you will have a beak to stop a lot of wind-driven rain, I think, which is going to be important on a multi-day trip. So that's going to be a dual-purpose item. And the last thing is the new backpack that I've made. Again, this is the 218 gram backpack. It's, as I said, as I've blogged before, it's a Sea to Summit Daysack copy. Some bit more substantial straps. There's no waist, there's no hip belt or sternum strap on there, which I've got. It takes a bit of getting used to, but if you're carrying very light loads, you don't need them. Mesh pockets on the front, and I will blog about this, so I'll do a little video about this later on. The material that I've used, it's not a ripstop, it's a polyviscose material. It's waterproof. It's exceptionally strong. You can't tear it even if it's cut, and it's relatively lightweight as well. It's quite an interesting material to use. Apparently they use it in making some hot air balloons. So I shall do a little demonstration about the toughness of that material later on. So that's it really. That's a quick basic overview of the kit. The majority of it now being homemade as well, which is always nice. I'm wearing a few new items of clothing. I've got a new pair of Innovates because my old ones have destroyed after. Well, they've done very well actually, because I used to use the Terrox. I could get about 250 miles out of those, but I've used these Rocklights. I had the Rocklight boots last time, and I got about 600 miles out of those. So I've got a pair of Rocklights on the sale for 60 quid. I've also got an OMM Rotor Smock, which is a lightweight synthetic smock, ideal summer smock, and I'll blog about that as well in a bit more detail. So it's a fantastic piece of kit. And courtesy of Mr. Phil Turner, a second-hand new North Face Triumph smock waterproof, which again, the fabric on it is brilliant. One of the best 2.5 layer fabrics that I've seen. It doesn't feel clammy at all, so I'm very pleased with that. Anyway, so that's the camp, that's the kit, and that's the view. I'm going to head off home now.